Tate, we're doing it.
Yes.
We are here. We are live, by the way. Shout out to everybody watching us on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, you should be watching us on YouTube. We're streaming a lot of our shows live on YouTube, youtube.com/Titus and Tate. Very easy to remember. But Tate, I'm excited because I am holding in my hands multiple
you have pieces of paper in your
brackets.
hand. This is the happiest that Mark Titus is when he has pieces of paper.
It's been a long time. People forget this, Tate. Last year the tournament was canceled. They don't forget that part. What they do forget is that I mean, we got to this stage, so I guess knock on wood, we shouldn't be celebrating yet.
Yep.
But we never got the NCAA tournament bracket. We never got to like hold the bracket, fill it out, like talk to our friends about what we think might happen. But we couldn't even argue about like, but for sure in the Sweet 16, this team was going to lose, whatever. So to have like real brackets in my hand again, we have all the conference tournament, the power conference.
And we took the
brackets.
conference tournaments last year for granted because we knew that March was coming. It never had not come since
telling
1939.
I'm not taking it for granted this year.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
We are going to start. So what we're going to do today, first of all, we're company men. We're not ashamed to admit it. We know who pays the bills in the Fraser.
Presented by Jeep. I drive a Jeep.
Household.
Yeah.
The Big East tournament on Fox on FS1 on the championship will be on Fox on Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, I guess Saturday afternoon for us.
Yes.
But Saturday
Saturday night on the East Coast.
Yeah, it gets started tomorrow. And I wanted to go through because to me and I will be in the interest of full transparency. When I'm a company man, I'll tell you I'm a company man. And when you're not getting company man, Mark, and you're just getting like real opinion. Mark.
Yes, takes.
This is my real opinion. I think the Big East tournament is the most intriguing one for this reason. There's a handful of reasons. Number one, Villanova has no point guard now. Justin Moore, his ankle, Colin Gillespie's MCL. We just found out that Justin Moore is not going to be playing in this thing. So
27 points per game between those two. Not going to be in the game for Villanova.
Villanova, as we know, in the new iteration of the Big East, has been dominant. They win the regular season every year.
The last three Big East tournament championships, Villanova.
They're still
first time in history.
They're still good enough to win it, Tate.
Yep.
So let's not get ahead of ourselves and count them out yet. But it makes it a lot more interesting because it's like, how is Villanova? I mean, Colin Gillespie's our best player.
Yes.
He's not playing.
Yes.
What's going to happen there? Seton Hall, St. John's. I'm looking at this game on Thursday. That is like I don't know if it's a play-in, but it's a play-out for sure. Whoever loses that game out of the NCAA tournament. That's intriguing. Creighton, the Greg McDermott situation.
Dare you say loser leaves town match?
Yeah, loser leaves town.
Yeah.
Creighton, we know the Greg McDermott situation they got brewing there, but like they're working through whatever that is. Like Xavier's
that is. Yes.
Xavier's on the bubble. They might be playing Creighton. Creighton's trying to get some mojo back.
And Butler had that one game against Villanova where they
Butler's
showed
feisty.
life. You know what I mean?
And then we get to the bottom of the bracket with UConn, who. Let's be honest, that's the real...
UConn has slowly turned into the favorites. And again, this is not a company man move. I know we have Coach Dan Hurley on the show today, but UConn, in the majority of the country, it feels like, they don't know who to look to college basketball, and therefore, de facto, we go to UConn. So here we are.
UConn back in the Big East for the first year, back in Madison Square Garden in the Big East tournament. Just like the stars seem to be aligning for UConn. And
the formula is there.
For those reasons, I genuinely do think the Big East, Fox is telling me, gas up the Big East tournament, like say, remind people the Big East tournament's going on.
In your ear right now, more.
Yeah, more. So I was going to say like things about it. I was going to remind our listeners that it's going on anyway, but they did not tell me to say that it's the tournament I'm most excited about. I can very easily say I'm more excited about the Big Ten, and they won't care. I'm not. The Big East is the more intriguing tournament to me. Not to say the other one. Well, I mean, we'll talk about the other ones later. There's some stuff to be interested in the other ones, but just all the stuff
Big
going.
Big 10 is interesting. Big 12.
The Big East is basically Xavier. You got Seton Hall and St. John's are all in the bubble.
The Pac-12. Here's the update. Not that interesting. Not that interesting.
So here's what I wanted to do, because just in the interest of, we have brackets in our hands. We have paper brackets. We have pens.
We're almost like fidgety. We're so anxious about this. So if you're watching us on live, we've never been this excited to have paper brackets in our hands.
Should we fill out a bracket?
Yeah,
let's
make some picks. Let's talk about it. Yeah,
because it just feels
the Big
right.
East.
It feels right. So the opening game of the Big East tournament it's back in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Here's another reason we should be talking about the Big East tournament. It comes full circle, Tate. The last shot we got of college basketball in 2020 was the St. John's mascot just staring into the abyss as Rob Stone's telling us everything's canceled. Cancel all of your plans. And there's a big zoom out that lasts like 30
seconds. St. John's, the home team, in
Right.
Madison Square Garden, feeling it even more.
So we're back here. We're back in Madison Square Garden. We're running it back. We're trying to actually get these games in. Oh, who were they playing? Was it DePaul, I think, at the time?
Yeah,
I
think
it was St.
so.
John's
Yeah,
DePaul.
yeah. Oof.
And they went to did they come back after halftime and keep
Dave
playing?
Leto was like, where are the Chicago recruits?
Anyway, so opening game, Marquette, a Marquette team that you believe in.
Yes.
Very strongly because they...
Not because I'm blinded by what I saw in the Dean Dome, but because I've seen signs, Mark Titus.
Marquette versus Georgetown. That's at 3 Eastern
That's a fun game.
on Wednesday. So that gets us started. It would be noon Pacific, I guess.
Yep.
That gets the big East tournament underway. What do we need to tell the people about that one? They played once this year, I believe. I think Marquette won the first one by 4 at Georgetown. That's the only time they played. The teams are sort of different since then. Georgetown started off the season awful. They were not good. They sort of picked up steam later. I think they won like 6 of the last 10 coming into the conference tournament. But Marquette, as we know, feisty. They're feisty.
And have the talent, too. And obviously have Wojo there as a good coach. I could see Marquette and Butler are the two teams that are like high seeds.
DJ Carton,
he has a curse against North Carolina. We don't know what he has against the program, but in general, he's been great. Had probably the most spectacular dunk, the most highlight-worthy dunk we've seen all season. But DJ Carton, Marquette, they're a scary team if you're Villanova, I feel like, to face in the first round.
I didn't even
like
realize
said,
until now
injuries.
Marquette's a Jordan team, and they played it. That adds to the pain of kicking their ass. And
wearing Jordans.
Yeah.
In the Dean
They
Dome.
wore
Not
Jordans.
Good. Not good. But I like Marquette. Villanova there, that's upset potential in the first round. That's a good 1-9 game to watch. But, with Marquette, we've seen them just completely just lay a flat egg, before. So I could see Marquette, Georgetown. That's a game to watch. See what Marquette's team shows up, and then we go from there.
Marquette's not making the tournament. I mean, I guess they could. Are they good enough to win this? I don't think so. I guess.
But if you're Marquette, there's a path because if Villanova without 2 of their top guys, you beat them, then you take the 1 seed from them,
true.
and then you're going.
I guess if you're Marquette, you've convinced yourself that you could win this tournament right now. I feel like what teams are DePaul is basically the one. I feel like every other team is maybe talking to themselves like, yeah, we could win this thing.
Yeah, even Xavier.
Xavier's like, we could win this thing.
Yeah, of course.
I think Marquette's going to win the first game though.
Me too.
So put me down for Marquette.
Yep.
I'm writing in Marquette in my bracket here. I just want to write. It just feels so good to write. There we go. Also on Wednesday, the next game is then Butler Xavier, which I got this stat for you because we're fascinated by Minnesota away from the barn. Minnesota literally did not win a single game this year away from the barn, which I guess we could talk about later with the Big Ten tournament because they're playing Northwestern. That's an immovable object. And
nobody wants to win
right there. Game. What the hell's going to happen to that one?
Yes. That is the Frank Beamer pick when it's 0-0. It's going to overtime. Yeah, that is that.
So Butler, here's the factoid for you for this game. The only game away from home that Butler has won all year was at DePaul, who's the worst team in the conference.
Brad Stevens seems like a guy that loves the word factoid. Yeah.
Butler has because I think going into this game, what you're going to talk about, I can see it in your eyes. You're going to talk about how they beat Villanova. You're going to talk about how Butler at Hinkle Fieldhouse this year has pulled off some upsets, has won a lot of games that maybe they shouldn't have won. But I'm going to tell you that all those happen at Hinkle Fieldhouse, and that when Butler leaves Hinkle Fieldhouse, when you get away from the
Hoosier magic,
the weird sunlight coming in at Hinkle Fieldhouse at certain times, like the wonky floor that there's dead spots all over the place, and it's lopsided a little bit, and
the best.
The baskets
kind of reminds me of the old Big East. Now that you're talking about it,
yeah. When Butler gets away from that, they've won 1 game all season. It was at DePaul, who is, as I said, the worst team in the conference. So I like Xavier in this one. Xavier also fighting for their NCAA tournament lives. Butler is not, so I think Xavier's going to win this one.
I think take Xavier as well. As much as I like Butler, I like them in that 1 game. You're right. They don't do it on the road, neutral sites.
So I'm going to write down your
not for the
too.
Bulldogs.
We're both Marquette.
We're going to take Xavier as well.
We're both Xavier.
Throw up the X.
So then DePaul Providence. Providence. Yeah. We don't need to spend a lot
Coach
of time
Cooley, we're riding with you
on that one. All right, so that gets us to the quarterfinals. Marquette Villanova. This is where things start to get interesting.
This is my upset. I'm taking it.
You're taking Marquette?
I'm taking Marquette. Just pass me on.
All right.
Yeah,
Marquette,
I believe. Marquette, show something. Come on.
Because Marquette is feisty, as we said. They are playing better basketball as of late. But the fear that I have is, maybe Villanova's injuries. If Villanova's fully healthy, Marquette lays down this game. I feel like Marquette has nothing to play for.
Yes, it's over.
They're just kind of like, whatever.
Now you have nobody believes in us. You have the push to say, look, if we win this 1 game, guys. Look, 1-0, Mark Titus. You know what Coach Speech is. This is what Wojo's saying. This is the game.
So
this is the game.
I think Villanova still wins. I think this is a massive game for Villanova because again, this is what makes the Big East tournament interesting to me because a lot of these teams, like we'll talk about the Big Ten, like Michigan is sort of reeling. I think Michigan needs to win. Like if Michigan plays Michigan State in the first round, I think Michigan needs to win that one. But like if Michigan loses in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, I guess I should say, I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think there are a lot of teams at this point who have stuff left to prove.
Who can really hurt themselves.
Yeah, or like they need to like get mojo back or whatever. Villanova is very much a team that like we have to figure this out going into the NCAA tournament without Justin. Justin Moore will probably be back for the NCAA tournament, but Colin Gillespie won't. Like they're very much limping into the Big East tournament, and I mean that literally.
Yes,
They lose. What were their final 3 games? They lose at Butler. They win over Creighton, but they lose Colin Gillespie in that game, so that was like an emotional loss. And then they close out the season losing at Providence. I think Villanova, this is a massive game just to get the mojo back, get the Villanova magic back. And I can't in good faith pick Marquette to be Villanova.
I mean, it also seems impossible to think that if they were to win this tournament this year, they would have won 5 of the last 6 Big East tournaments.
Yeah, like Villanova.
That doesn't even seem real. You know what I mean? You're just gonna pass that on.
I'm not ready for
baton,
I'm not ready for the changing of the guard where that UConn fans like if Villanova loses in the quarterfinals and UConn goes on to win this.
It's not a passing of the baton in that sense. It's just like let someone else win the tournament.
But what I'm saying is if that happens, that's what's going to happen. If UConn
don't let them do it. We won't let them do it.
If UConn wins the Big East tournament and Villanova loses in the quarterfinals, UConn fans are saying it's our league. Get the hell out of the way.
Company man.
Yeah,
it's UConn's league.
Does Dan Hurley work for us now? I'm pretty. Jay Wright's like, what the hell,
He's on the
man?
show.
Like,
he works with us.
Yeah, he works with us.
That's all it is.
I'm taking Villanova. All right, this is the big one. This is the game of the.
This is the best game of the tournament. This is
going to be the best game of the tournament, I think. Seton Hall, St. John's, a playout game, as I said. I don't think the winner is in per se, but the loser's definitely out.
They just played in Seton Hall.
They closed the season. Seton Hall,
up 18-0.
18-0 to start the game.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a blowout for Seton Hall. And then St. John's, takes over. I think they ended up getting the lead. It's like 47-46 at that point, 11 minutes or so left to go in the game. Julian Champagny, again, I'm a Champagny guy, all about the Champagny brothers. Leads the Big East in scoring 19.9 points per game. And, I believe in the Champagny magic, but I don't like the fact that Seton Hall just blew this game right before this. So I'm leaning Seton Hall a little bit in my heart, even though I love the Johnnies.
It comes down to me, is Posh Alexander going to play? He's got like a sprained thumb. He did not play. They beat him. They beat Seton Hall without him.
If he plays, I take the Johnnies.
I think Seton Hall, like if Seton Hall has any sort of pride whatsoever,
they have to win.
They've lost 4 in a row, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All signs point to a Seton Hall win.
Yeah, but is this like a gambler's fallacy that you've seen red hit 4 times in a row, and you're like, black's got to be due. Black has got to be due. I'm
taking the Johnnies. I'm going with my heart. Take the Johnnies.
You take the Johnnies.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Seton Hall because I just can't
That's probably the right pick. But
because we saw with Michigan State that when you play another team back to back like that, I think the team that lost has the advantage in the second game. It'd be one thing if St. John's blew Seton Hall out and they were like, we're clearly better, but they weren't. Like you could argue that Seton Hall choked it away more than St. John's won.
Yeah.
I don't think Seton Hall can blow this. I don't think they can. I think Seton Hall has to win, but that's going to be a great game.
That's going to be the most fun game. Again, that's
put me down for Seton Hall. Put me down for Seton Hall. So we have
Thursday at 3.
All right, Xavier Creighton.
I actually am going to take Xavier in this game. This is another upset for me.
Making upsets like crazy.
I mean, I love it. I mean, at the end of the day, Creighton's been in the conversation, right, for us. We know that they're there. We know that they have talent, but this whole McDermott situation,
which was started at Creighton or at Xavier. I mean, it was at Cincinnati.
So
when the
this seems like it's all going to bubble back up. I don't know. I'm going to take Xavier. I feel good about Xavier. I think Xavier is actually a little bit under the radar.
They
Xavier, need to run as well.
They're a bubble team.
Yep.
This would be massive for their case. So Xavier, they played. When did they play? I wrote it down just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, and well, duh, because that was the McDermott post game press game. Xavier won that game. That's what sparked like the post game speech to his team.
Then they lost to Georgetown. Then they lost to Marquette. So they've lost 2 in a row. Yeah. So there's like a little bit of we've forgotten that they're a hot team. I think a little bit. So I'm riding with the X. No, we just like Ohio State. We just forgot. We just forgot.
You think Ohio State's still hot? They're
hot. They're hot.
So in that game, Xavier carved up Creighton. It could have been a lot worse if Xavier was hitting threes. They weren't really hitting threes, but they were still like just absolutely like Creighton's defense was awful in that game. And I think Creighton, again, not to keep harping on it, but like this is what makes the Big East tournament to me is like Creighton is a team much like Villanova that's like we have lost our mojo a little. We have to figure this out. And I think they have to win this game. But I think it's a must-win for both teams. Have must-win. It's a must-win for both teams. What happens?
I'm
then?
all in for Scruggs, and
I think Creighton has to win this.
Okay,
I think Creighton has to win this for me to have any hope whatsoever in a Creighton NCAA tournament.
I think the 9 o'clock game, the next game, actually might be the best game of the tournament.
Providence, UConn.
Yeah, David Duke versus James Bouknight.
That's gonna be a good.
That's a showdown. Madison Square Garden, 9 o'clock. Featured game. Those two guys going back and forth. Ed Cooley stalking the sidelines.
They split this season.
I mean, Ed Cooley, Dan Hurley, primetime MSG. That's going to be a fun game.
I'll say
those two guys.
I don't think it's coincidence that UConn got the 3 seed, and the 3 seed plays the latest game every single step of this tournament.
They want UConn to do this.
I think they want UConn in the prime time every single.
I like the Big East, basically just trying to see, like, they're just like, yeah, are you who we thought you were?
Yeah.
Like, we'll give you the ball, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Are you the UConn of old?
Yeah.
Because if so, great for the old Big East.
Here's the Providence UConn backstory. They split on the season. The first game Providence won, I believe, and or was it what do I have my order out of? No, I think Providence won the first one, but Bouknight didn't play, and then they did the rematch and Bouknight was back. But UConn's lost 2 games this season with James Bouknight. One was home against Creighton when he had 40 points, went to overtime, and that was the game that I keep pointing out as like that was the first instance where I was like, oh my god, if fans were here, they would be losing their mind, and UConn would have won that game. But Bouknight hits like insane shot after insane shot, and it's just dead quiet in there. But whatever, they lost. We'll count it.
Yep.
And then they lost at Villanova against a full-strength Villanova team. Those are the 2 losses that UConn has all season with James Bouknight. They have the conference defensive player of the year with Posh Alexander. Isaiah Whaley won that. They just announced that on Monday. UConn, all the stars are aligned, Tate, for UConn to make a run. I believe in it. I am very simple-minded with this stuff, and I think that if there's one team that in all of these power tournaments, if there's one team who cares about winning their conference tournament more than any other team, ignoring like the teams that need to win for automatic bids, because like Duke obviously cares, like that's their only way into the tournament. But I'm saying like teams that are already in that are just like. You're asking, does Baylor have anything to play for? Does Kansas, UConn has everything to play for.
Everything.
To the UConn Huskies, to the fan base, they're like, this is the most important thing ever that we kick everyone's ass in this tournament.
Yes.
UConn is winning this game.
This is like when you go to a Fleetwood Mac show 20 years past their prime, and then they start playing Go Your Own Way or any song from Rumors, and they play the hits, and you're like, this is it. This is what I came for. UConn, play the hits. The original Race to 69, if people forget this, the championship game, Kemba Walker, 2011, the first Race to 69 moment in my life. I was a freshman in college, and I saw it right then. The Race to 69 came to me, clarity. And then from there on, UConn.
Wait, Gary McGee, was that the what are we talking about? Kemba Walker, Race to 69?
In the championship game.
Oh, the championship.
Yeah, it was literally, they won 69, 60, 61, something like that. But it was the original Race to 69 moment in my life. James Bouknight, get on the ride 10 years later, I believe.
All right, so you're taking UConn as well?
Yes.
So you have Marquette, St. John's. I have Villanova, Seton Hall.
Give me St. John's.
All right.
So the championship game to me is home team St. John's. For the Big East, this is for the brand. For the old Big East. We got St. John's, the home team, playing in Madison Square Garden. Mike Anderson's got a great squad. It's a talented squad. The Johnnies are going to be a team to be reckoned with moving into the future.
Yeah.
And then they're going to take on the new UConn Huskies in the new Big East. But this sets the tone. We have old Big East vibes for the new Big East in the future.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The Johnnies versus UConn is what I have.
You had St. John's Marquette, so that
just move it to the championship. I'm already there. It's UConn Johnnies.
Okay, all right, I'll put UConn in.
Just skip ahead. You know what it is.
I will do the same. I had Seton Hall Villanova as a semifinal. I am going to put. I think this is the game Villanova goes down. I think Villanova that catches up to them. I think Seton Hall. Here's what happens in this game. Seton Hall wins. This solidifies because Villanova is obviously still one of the better teams in the country, even without Gillette. Like a win over Villanova would be great, obviously for Seton Hall's tournament resume. We're getting Kevin Willard in the post-game press conference, just basically saying like. Everyone who said we were a bubble team, kiss my ass. Like,
if we're not in now,
if we're not in now, like
What are you talking about?
I can't believe you. Like, yeah, Mamu's just like, I can't believe you all thought we were a bubble team. They get a little cocky about it, which I don't mind. But also, it's like, well, yeah, we thought you were a bubble team because you lost 4 in a row, and you saw. I sense like that, and then like Big East people are like, well, I was cheering for Seton Hall, but they're a little. They're feeling themselves a little too much.
It's a little too much for me.
Yeah. I like Seton Hall. Put Seton Hall in the title game.
Okay.
I had UConn,
I like Mamu in the title game.
I had UConn Creighton. I think I'm just gonna make the same point over and over. Spoiler alert, I have UConn winning this whole damn thing because like I have a small brain and I just like I've seen
Zagorowski comes to this game and thinks it's his night, but it's really Bouknight's night, and the rest is history.
I think if Creighton plays UConn in the semifinal, that could be the game of
that
conference
could be
tournament.
That could be great.
That could be insane. Mitch Ballack just pulling up. Are they going to have the NBA 3-point line down?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. It's MSG.
Dude. Mitch Ballack's licking his lips at that. He's like, yes, please.
I mean, I see Tibbs at the game watching it just because he loves he loves basketball so much. He just wants to watch the game. I love it.
So you have UConn, St. John's. I have UConn, Seton Hall in the title game. As I said, it's UConn. It's UConn. It's going to be UConn, right?
Yeah. I think all signs going into this game, we're thinking UConn. I'm trying to talk myself out of it, but at the end of the day,
if Mike Anderson was on our show today, would you pick St. John's?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Company man answer, yes, 100%. But you come on our show, you get the pick.
I do think, like, you look at all these matchups, you look at Madison Square Garden, dude. The blood is coursing through my veins again. You see the Connecticut Huskies.
Yes.
Like I said, it is partly shtick to say like UConn is going to make a run because it just feels like destiny. But it's also like I genuinely do believe that there is like some juice behind UConn in that locker room, and that they're like, this is a big deal.
Yes,
this has to be a big deal. In a way that I don't think.
I mean, I can just hear Gus Johnson with James Bouknight with the ball. Waiting to
and Bouknight.
Exactly. And the Huskies are back home. You know what I mean? As he hits the shot, they're back in the Big East and they're celebrating the championship.
And it's the shot that put him up 31. It's just Gus was just like fired up, like ready to. He's like, this game has been over the whole time. Oh, okay. Well, sorry about that.
It's all right. It's MSG.
Like, I got carried away. My bad. Taps just like it's been 2 years since we've called it a.
Oh, it feels good, Titus.
Should we stop talking about UConn and let the man who knows UConn better than anybody talk about it?
Yes,
I think so. Let's bring on Dan Hurley and talk to him.
Let's do it.
All right, we're here with head coach of the UConn Huskies, Mr. Dan Hurley. UConn will be the number 3 seed in the Big East tournament starting this week. And Coach, I guess I just want to start there. This was obviously far from a normal season. This was, maybe this isn't you didn't get the greatest perspective on it, but. Putting that aside, can you speak to, now that we have the regular season in the rear view, the Big East tournament coming up, what this has meant to the University of Connecticut for the Huskies to be back in the Big East? You're a Big East guy. You kind of understand the importance. What has been the feeling around Storrs this season with the Huskies back in the Big East?
Yeah, I mean that kind of level of excitement this time of year. The UConn Huskies and both men's and women's basketball are like synonymous with success in March and kind of magic in March, both the Big East tournament and the NCAA tournament. Obviously, UConn is a huge brand with some of the best fans and most passionate fans in the country. And college basketball and March basketball and Big East basketball is better, when you've got a healthy UConn team.
And, Coach, we have to ask this because you mentioned the magic of March and the fact that UConn, it seems like when it hits March, we have, the moment where we all point to and say, that's the team to watch out for.
Time for UConn.
Yeah, and this year, everyone is pointing at your team right now. They're saying James Bouknight is back. This team's more dangerous and probably should be ranked higher.
They fit the model, Coach.
Yes, Coach.
You fit the UConn model.
Are you trying to keep people away, keep them at bay so they don't put too much pressure on you guys?
Yeah, we're not buying into any of that, type of narrative. I mean, we took a really important step this year. It's like, the year one was like just try to rebuild this culture, recruit, start developing our young players. Year two, obviously last year we were playing great basketball, and I think we had a great chance to potentially win the conference tournament. We were playing as good or better than anyone in the AAC last year going into the conference tournament. And, we've taken that next logical step this year, and we've competed towards the top of the Big East, and we're, an NCAA tournament team. So, we're not going to drink the Kool-Aid, though. I'm a better coach, and, this team is better when we have a chip on our shoulder and an edge to us, and we feel like we're doing the hunting, and we, from here on out to this one ends, but to the season ends, we will be hunting.
What is your philosophy? Because you said you don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. Tate and I are very much serving the Kool-Aid to all of America. We get very excited about narratives, obviously, in the media. That's what we do. So we draw parallels to Kemba Walker, UConn team that won a title, to the 2014 UConn team with Shabazz Napier. And as I said, this team fits the model with James Bouknight kind of being a guy. You guys play defense. Like the simplified version is play great team defense, give the ball to James Bouknight, and get the hell out of the way. And that has kind of been the formula for the past 2 national titles. So what is your philosophy towards your players and them not drinking the Kool-Aid? Obviously, these guys are on social media and they're seeing stuff. You guys were kind of on the bubble like a week and a half ago. Now all of a sudden people are saying you might be Final Four sleepers. Just that roller coaster. How do you keep your players, just calm down and play the game in front of you?
Hey, thank you too for simplifying my job too. Just the defense, the book. I got to write. All as head coaches, we do overcomplicate it. For us, it's always, we would just been focused on, kind of on that next game.
Yeah.
It sounds cliche. I think as a staff and players, when you coach or play at UConn, every game is a pressure cooker. The expectations and the standards that you're coaching and playing towards here are just, there's probably only 6 or 8 places in the country where the standards are what they are here. So, bubble, there's no bubble pressure. Every game is pressure here. Yeah. So, and then in terms of, my messaging to the team is, we just needed to get healthy. And it wasn't just Bouknight. Getting Andre Jackson back, he's been, he's really improved our defense in rebounding. And our offense, because he's such a beautiful passer, and he's such an athletic player at 6'7". So it wasn't just James that we've inserted into the mix here. Andre Jackson has been critical, but we're taking a bubble team's mentality. We take nothing for granted, and we're going to take the hell out this week.
Coach, a couple years back, Titus and I, we always hear the term players coach, right? And, we try to find different coaches that we say is a players coach. But I never saw someone showcase it in a game until you played SMU a couple years ago, and you decided to take a charge on the sideline as an actual head coach. And I think that set the tone for the program. Do you remember that moment? And I think Titus and I, we both fell in love with you that day.
Yeah, that was pre-flop rule, so the rest would be going like, this. It was Tyler, I believe, Polly, that ran into me, and Tyler's not exactly a physical specimen, so I had to sell it. But for me, it's like a simple formula. If you could survive my practices, if you could survive and thrive in my practices and fit into our culture in terms of being an all-about team. On game night, I'm going to support you. I'm going to throw all my support behind you. But you've got to earn that from me by being about the right things, by preparing the right way. And again, I'm not a player's coach in practice, but it's just my philosophy to drive my team hard in practice and to be really, really demanding. But then on game night, I've got to flip the script and become more of like the boxing trainer in the corner that's trying to make his fighter think he can do anything.
Yep.
I'm fascinated by coaches who played college basketball, and now your alma mater is in your conference. You obviously played at Seton Hall in the 90s. And the most famous example for us is Bill Self, who coaches at Kansas. And I swear to God, Coach, every time they play in Stillwater, Coach Self throws the game, and they lose. They lose to Oklahoma State. And so I'm not accusing you of anything. You guys just won in Newark not too long ago, last week, so we're good there. But I'm starting to kind of forecast this Big East tournament. If you were to play Seton Hall, it would be in the championship game. They need to win, I believe, to get into the tournament. Also, there's this nugget, Tate. I don't know if you're aware of this. Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong. your senior year at Seton Hall, you guys lost to UConn in the Big East tournament, I believe. So I'm just connecting some dots. Coach, can you promise America that your soft spot for Seton Hall, you're over it? You're a UConn guy through and through. There will never be a soft spot for Seton Hall if you're playing him.
No, I have no chance.
Yeah, okay,
no,
that's good.
I'm a killer out there. I don't. My oldest son Danny's a senior at Seton Hall, and he got a lot of crap from people on campus when we lost. Because Seton Hall's his second favorite team.
Yeah.
He's loyal to the family. I met my wife Andrea there. I got a lot of love for Seton Hall, but no, you don't have to worry about that. My time there didn't go that great. Yeah. It wasn't a fairy tale. And my last 2 games in college, my senior day at Seton Hall, UConn came in and smacked us at Continental Airlines Arena, and then my last 2 college losses were against UConn. Then UConn eliminated us in the Big East quarters, the semis, whatever it was. So yeah, no, you Husky Nation, you have no fear. I'm not throwing.
Love it. Love it, Coach.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck in the Big East tournament. Best of luck in the NCAA tournament. Obviously, we have to. We're not UConn fans, but there's something about this time of year that makes us UConn fans. I don't know what it is about it. So best of luck. We appreciate the time.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Dude, I don't know. I guess it's my fault for expecting any other answer from Dan Hurley than to
yeah,
to
we were flipping a coin whether I ask him, does he have a rivalry with the other coaching brothers like the Drews, Scott Drew, and maybe the Millers with Sean Miller and Archie Miller, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he's a very serious coach, and we appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah, as I was filling out the bracket, I saw that Seton Hall.
I thought he might kill you when you asked him about
I mean,
that,
that's where my mind goes. I'm like, all right, Seton Hall might play UConn. Wow, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Dan Hurley coaching against his alma mater. His last college game, he was on the other side. He was playing Seton Hall.
No connection there.
Seton Hall playing against UConn.
Nope.
They beat him. I was like, wow, the stars are. Dan, care to speak about this? He's like, I'm a killer.
Yeah, literally.
That's what we love about him. That's what
correct himself from I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. I don't think he'll ever come back on the show, but
man, that was fun. Thanks, Coach.
Certainly had fun talking to him, and I believe in UConn.
We both picked UConn, by the way.
We did. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the fact
that
Dan Hurley joined us. Let's talk about some of these other tournaments. Is there anything else we need to hit that? I mean, obviously, I want to talk about some of these other. If I was to say to you, I know you're an ACC guy, so you might lean ACC, but if you had to pick one of the other 5 power conferences. We already hit all the Big East. Which is one that stands out to you as like I'm excited to see this and like why? What is it?
I am excited to see what happens with the SEC, and I'll say this because I think it's the most uninteresting league from the standpoint of top teams that really get your eye, and Nate Oates tried. He calls out Coach K, gets a little national media to pay attention to Alabama, but at the end of the day, no one really cares. But the real question is, can Kentucky and Coach Cal can they make the heroic run? That is the thing that we were promised. I remember someone tweeting at one point to book it. They were going to make
here's the
this
spin.
run.
Here's the spin on Kentucky. They're too good.
They're too good.
Because what happened?
They're the 8th seed.
They would have been. Yeah, they were the 8th seed. They would have been better off. I got the bracket in front of me here.
Okay.
Kentucky they play Mississippi State. When is that? That's Thursday.
Yes.
So they got a bye. First of all, I don't know why we're talking about. They technically got a bye because the first game is tomorrow. And
Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah. So first of all, Kentucky got a bye. So everyone's saying how bad they were this year. You're wrong.
Get over it.
They play Mississippi State, and then they'll play Alabama in the second round. So the idea of Kentucky, they obviously have to win the tournament.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's not a chance. What I'm telling you is, if Kentucky would have got the 11 seed, that South Carolina got, they're playing Ole Miss in the first round.
So you're saying 7th Woods has a chance at South Carolina?
They're playing Ole Miss in the first round. Then they would have played LSU, which I could talk myself into Kentucky winning that.
Yes.
Then they're playing probably Arkansas, which Arkansas is red hot. That's why I'm interested in SEC. Is Arkansas?
Because Arkansas.
Alabama is the SEC champion. They're the team that they're probably the best, but Arkansas is red hot. Arkansas fans believe they're the best, and for good reason. They just beat Alabama. They beat everybody that they played. They've won what,
my favorite
11 SEC games.
Yeah, my favorite backcourt in the country. As we're going to do our selection Sunday as we get closer, the duo that I was going to laser in on as my Kimba candidate, kind of in conjunction, was Tate and Moody. Those two guys at Arkansas, they're very fun. They have a lot of confidence and a lot of bravado. Ole Miss, as the 6th seed, is another team to watch out for. Devontae Shuler, teammates of Zion Williamson and John Morant. People forget this on the Hornets. I think Ole Miss as a 6th seed is a scary team. You mentioned, Kentucky wanted to be the 11th seed, but if they played Ole Miss, they're going to lose that game.
Probably.
So
I think that's what we're going to – I think Kentucky's going to lose to Mississippi State, and then you and I are going to get on a show.
Let's just throw the dream away.
We're going to get on a show and be like, there's still a chance. Yeah. If Kentucky could just –
Did you see –
they could be a replacement team, Tate. Don't count them out yet.
Did you see the Joe Lunardi drop of the day? Like on the Bracketology homepage, if you haven't seen this, go to ESPN.com/Bracketology, and it used to be Coach Cal and Coach K, and they have their arms crossed, and then
what happened to Company Man Tate, by the way?
Well, I mean, look, I check out I check Jerry Palm. I check Mike DeCourcy's my favorite, of course. You
got to know your enemy, right?
Yeah, of course. Okay, right. Anyways, they changed the graphic, Titus. They took Cal away. They took K away. They put Juwan Howard. They put Shaka Smart up. So
wow,
the bracketologists have moved on from the Blue Bloods. So just think about that. New Bloods.
The other thing I'm keeping an eye on with the SEC is that it feels like there's this like Alabama is a team that I don't think Alabama needs to necessarily show me anything, and I kind of know who Alabama is at this point.
We do.
Same with Arkansas. There's that middle tier, that middle grouping of SEC teams that have at times looked really good this year.
Missouri is an interesting team.
Missouri,
yes.
Florida, LSU, Tennessee, like those four basically are all at certain times have looked like Final Four teams. At other times look like they're going to lose by 15 in the first round.
Missouri especially.
Yeah, and they're all over the place. So I don't know if we're going to jump to I don't know if one game in the SEC tournament, what was the break? Who did these guys got? I mean, LSU plays the winner of Ole Miss, South Carolina. Missouri's got Georgia out of the gate, which I don't know about Florida. So we get Florida, Tennessee in the 5-4 game maybe if they I don't know, I don't know if I'm going to draw conclusions from these one games, but if one of them can show me they can go on a run and beat, if LSU can beat Arkansas and make it to the championship game, or if Tennessee can upset Alabama, and I want one of those to emerge and be like, okay, so you're the one of that group that I believe in.
I'm down for that. I believe in that. I think at the end of the day with the SEC, we're trying to see if there's a consistent team in the SEC that we can actually buy into.
The answer is Arkansas.
Arkansas is the best team, yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
You think Arkansas is the best team?
In the SEC.
Better than Alabama?
Yes.
Why does Arkansas have a 2 next to their name then?
Oh, you know what it is. Politics.
Can we talk about the Big Ten for a little bit?
Yeah. That's perfect.
Because
that was the right answer when you asked me, but I felt like I wanted to go.
Okay. So we'll do this. We'll do
Zags.
process of elimination. We did SEC. Here's your Pac-12 update. Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Colorado are all going to
win. Yep.
It's all going to go chalk. It's boring. I'm you know me, Tate. People are saying on the internet that I have done more for Pac-12 basketball than anybody. I can't I would disagree with that, but people are saying it, and I'm like, no, hang on, everybody. That's not true, probably, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Even as a Pac-12 guy, I can't, in good faith, tell people to watch the Pac-12 tournament. It's not. I mean, maybe the championship, Bill Walton on the call, and if it's Oregon USC, there's the fight for the actual Pac-12 title because. USC, I mean, we're going to talk about this with the Big Ten because this is the subplot of the Big Ten. But USC beat the hell out of Oregon the one time they played.
Head-to-head.
They won more games than Oregon in conference play this year, and yet Oregon is the Pac-12 champion. So if they meet in the title game, you got my attention.
Is what they're saying at home.
But otherwise, the Pac-12...
Oregon not ranked, by the way. They're the number 1 seed, but Colorado and USC are both ranked. Not the number 1 seeds in the Pac-12. So,
Shout out Doug Gottlieb, who's waving the flag for Oregon lately. I just see every time Gottlieb opens his mouth, he's like, Oregon is a top 10 team, a top 15 team.
He thinks they're a Final Four team.
Yeah, he's like, Oregon is the best team I've ever... Doug, keep it in your pants, dude. The more he
John
talks...
Rothstein famously said Quid Duarte is first team All-American.
The more Gottlieb talks about Oregon, he's like, I think Oregon... It's Gonzaga, Oregon, Tier 1. It's everybody else.
I mean, Dana Allman did come on our show, so I actually like Oregon, too. So
I want to talk about the Big Ten because this is the subplot of the conference tournaments. It's if you have not been paying attention, we talked about it on the last show. Illinois fans versus Michigan fans.
Man,
it has not been resolved. Illinois going to Michigan, beating the hell out of Michigan without Ayo Dosunmu, did not solve it.
Nope.
Because as it turns out, there is more beef to be had, and that beef is this, Tate. The Illinois Fighting Illini won 2 more games 2 more, not 1 more. USC won 1 more than Oregon. Illinois won 2 more Big Ten games than Michigan did this year. The one time they played, they beat the snot out of Michigan in Ann Arbor without Ayo DeSumo.
I feel the Michigan 8th graders.
The 8th graders are fired up.
They're turning up on us.
Meanwhile, Michigan, of the top 5 in the Big Ten, Michigan was number 1, as we know.
Yes.
The next 4 teams, Michigan played once all season. They did not play any of the other contenders, we'll say, in the Big Ten. They did not play any of them twice. And Illinois, so because Michigan loses to Michigan State, suddenly you're looking at it, and if I'm an Illinois fan, which this is exactly what Illinois fans are saying, how the hell are we not Big Ten champions?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Even if you look at the standings, it says Illinois is like plus a half game in the standings of like game, the game behind.
Yes.
Illinois is ahead of them in that, but because Michigan had a higher winning percentage, they technically are champions. Is this the most fraudulent conference championship regular season you have ever seen in your life? The answer has to be yes, right?
I will say this win percentage decision was made at the start of this year, right?
Yeah.
That was the call.
But
so it does seem to me like in the same way Ohio State in football, right? We made a decision.
Now hang on.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
But we made a decision. We see the decision is stupid.
Decision is stupid. Yes.
And then we adjust and we move
and we realize
forward.
like this
Right?
just doesn't make sense. Like
So-
the history books are not.
I'm even of the camp of if it comes down to win percentage and it's one side is win percentage, one side is +5.
Yeah.
Share it, right?
Just
like
share
the
it.
Big
Like, you
Ten
could do
loves
that
it.
easily.
Maryland shared it last year. We don't even remember
You're
that.
saying
Just share it. That's what I think.
These things do matter, by the way. Like,
Yes.
like these are trophies.
Yes.
These are there's money on the line for coaches, which I don't think people are gonna cry over. And like the average public's like, who gives a shit about that? But this matters in recruiting even. Like the graphics you put up
Yes.
that are like 19 Big Ten shit or whatever.
This is
all
trickle down
stuff matters.
economics.
It's trickle down,
the
dude.
school gives the bonus to the coach gives the bonus to the bag goes to the recruit. We know how it goes.
But you're absolutely right. People are trying to draw the comparison to Ohio State football. What happened with that, which
Yes.
is Ohio State football got like preferential treatment, and the difference. I mean, listen, I'm very biased as it turns out.
But what I'm saying is, there's precedent has been set, so you could do it.
That's
you
what
could
I'm saying.
Change. You could pivot.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
That Ohio State,
Just making sure.
Ohio State went undefeated in
Yes.
football. Ohio State beat
My question is, could they have done it in the ACC though? That's what people were saying.
Ohio State. Tate went undefeated in football. They beat the team that everyone thought like should be over Ohio
What
State.
did Dabo Sweeney say? They were the 11th best team in the country before
He
got
voted
here.
him 11th best.
That was hilarious.
So everyone wanted Indiana to be in because, like, per the COVID, like Ohio State didn't
Yes.
play enough games. Indiana should be in. They played head to head. Ohio State beat the hell out of Indiana. Indiana made it close in the end, but they still won the one game.
Yep.
Ohio State went undefeated. That made sense. So they reevaluated and they're like, this doesn't like the team beat the other team. They went undefeated. Like we can't put this team in.
That's what
over-
I mean.
That's exactly what we have
Common
here.
sense.
That's exactly what it is here. It's like, do you use common sense?
I
Like,
will
Illinois
say-
should- So I am. That's the subplot of this. If Illinois and Michigan meet in the championship game in the Big Ten tournament, boy, they both have 1 seeds locked up. I think.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
that's
They're
kind of
both 1 seeds.
They're
So
both 1 seeds, but
at the
now
end
you're
of the
fighting
day,
for
they
that.
should not be upset.
fighting for that.
And if you're Michigan, it's good news, right? Because if you're a Michigan fan, you know that the machine is behind you. As we talked about last time, like the media machine is behind Juwan Howard.
Yeah.
We love the
Yeah.
Fab Five, in the words of John Rothstein. We love the Fab Five Redemption Tour. We want Juwan Howard to succeed, right? That is what we're all on. So the fact that Michigan is getting that bump, that's
Right.
good news for them. But on the flip side of that, Illinois having the
Illinois got to be pissed off, dude.
but having the chip on your shoulder is great. Like
Yeah.
I think, like I'm buying in on this. Like this is the team. I watched the Ohio State game
Yeah.
this weekend. Ohio State had no business losing that game.
Yeah,
But Illinois
yes.
the whole
Yes.
time, I mean, you know this. The whole time Illinois had the confidence of like we're going to win this game. I'm very high on
Ohio
the
State,
Illini.
as it turns
I
out,
just say that.
Ohio State
Flying
also
high.
had the confidence that we're definitely going to win this game. They just
No, they
did not-
didn't. No, I saw it. I saw it on their faces.
No, Dwayne Washington was like, "I'm going to win this game. Watch this," and then he'd shoot it and would throw it off the backboard, and it wouldn't go in. And yeah, and that was tough. But
And
he
then Chris Holman looked at him and said, "Guys, make shots."
my dad called me.
They're
He's
like,
like,
"Oh, my bad.
my dad called me. He's like,
Forgot."
what's going on with Dwayne? Like on some of some of his shot selection. I was like, Dad, he thought it was going in. Like, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It never crossed Dwayne Washington. It never has when he's shooting the ball that like this is not going in. So you're looking at him, you're like,
Probably
why would you shoot that, Dwayne? He's like, because I thought if I made this, we'd win the game.
Probably my favorite mask, by the way. Of all of the broken, like, think about what Tyler Hansbrough wore in 2008 when he broke his nose. You know what I mean? When Gerald Henderson gave him the elbow, it's like he couldn't even see. He had Velcro all over his face, and now this is sleek. This is nice. Good to see for IO.
So I might take it back when I said earlier UConn is more fired up to win their conference tournament than the other team. Illinois has got to be up there too.
If I'm Illinois, I'm not that. Just wait. 6 games. 6 games. You want to win it all if you're Illinois.
Yeah, you want to win the Big Ten too. Like the idea of Michigan winning the Big Ten tournament and the Big Ten regular
season. That's the problem with the Big Ten. This is why you don't win the big one. This is why you guys get you're beating each other up. You're focused on this Big Ten tournament. The real thing is what matters. Illinois fans, you know this. You know this.
Because
make the real run.
It's the opposite.
Make the real
I would
run.
argue the opposite because
you're arguing wrong.
Because if you don't win the Big Ten tournament and you say we're putting all our eggs in one basket to make this run and you don't win the NCAA tournament, you win nothing.
I think
you
if
have
you're
this
Illinois
season that's historic. There's greatest season where
if Indiana beats Rutgers, you throw that game so that they keep Archie Miller there, and you lose that game to Indiana. Let them go on. Let Iowa get to the championship. Let them have their fun.
You're outside your gourd, dude.
And
you
then Illinois make the real run.
Tighten up, dude.
Make the real run. You know it.
You're losing your
Illinois
mind, dude.
fans, make the real run. You know you can do it. I'm telling you.
This is Lucy pulling the football from Charlie Brown. You're like, make the run, Illinois. Gotcha, bitch. Gonzaga won. You losing a title game again.
Run.
And they win nothing.
Make the run.
They win nothing.
You went to the Final Four. You won something.
That's the Big Ten's problem.
LeBron James has showed us as long as you get to the mile marker, it's okay. Get to the Final Four. Get to the title game. Whatever happens, happens. You're in Big Ten country.
You've said a lot of dumb stuff on the show that might take the cake.
I believe in IO. I believe.
Other things to look for in the Big Ten. Minnesota's playing Northwestern tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
Minnesota's never won a game outside the barn, so I will be cheering very strongly for Northwestern, especially because the winner plays Ohio State, and I would rather. Also, Ohio State lost to both those teams.
Good guy report coming out. Minnesota. This could be the last game for Coach Pitino. So.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting. Is there anything else that stands out to you? Look at the Big Ten. I mean, Archie's got to win, but he's not going to. And
Archie's got to win. My one note and my one team to really, I mean, Illinois is my national championship favorite team right now, outside of Gonzaga, as we know. But like the number 2 team, right, as I call it, the biggest loser, Illinois is my team right now. That is the biggest loser in the country.
Baylor.
Yes, over Baylor. My biggest loser, Illinois, right now. In my mind. That's what I'm saying.
The Baylor beat them.
But my favorite team to be the hottest team in the country, Purdue, the Boilermakers. I like them. I like them as a 4 seed. I like them as a chance to win the Big Ten tournament. I like them in Indianapolis. I like that they get to play home games in West Lafayette. So Purdue is a team I would watch out for as well.
In the Big Ten tournament or in the NCAA tournament?
In both. In both. In both.
So you're telling me that if Ohio State beats Northwestern or Minnesota, that the Purdue Boilermakers are going to beat Ohio State 3 times this season?
No. But I'm just saying, I like Purdue. I like Purdue. Make a run. Final Four potential. I like Purdue's team. I really do. The Big Ten is you guys have all built each other up. You know what I mean?
I will say this. I'm worried that there's a Big Ten bubble. I'm worried that it's very. I mean, I said this to Andy when we were on Friday when we were talking about the Pac-12, and
but it's a Big Ten tournament. So you have to
I said it tongue in cheek about the Pac-12 of like, how come when Ohio State loses 4 in a row, it's like, wow, that just shows that when Ohio State loses to Michigan State, it shows the depth of the league. When Colorado loses to Cal, it's like Colorado sucks.
Yeah, get them out of here.
Get them out of here.
Yeah.
And I feel like there might be a Big Ten bubble, Tate, where it's all propped up on itself. Also, I mean, like, I don't love the idea that Ohio State is still ranked in the top 10 with 4 losses in a row. I don't love that.
Yes.
I still think we're a very good team, but I don't love.
Carolina has 2 more losses than Ohio State. It's not even close to the top 25. You know what I mean? And it's like that. The Big Ten, Wisconsin, what do they have? Like 10 losses, and they were number 23 in the country.
Wisconsin's not good.
I don't know. The
Talk
Big
about
Ten,
another thing I'm looking at with the Big Ten is Wisconsin figuring it out, and I don't know, salvaging something out of the season because, yikes, situation there. All right, so what else we got? ACC.
Yeah, let's go to the ACC
and Big 12. ACC.
The ACC.
I can't get myself to care, dude. I just can't. I haven't all year. I can't get myself to care.
Similar to the Big Ten, the ACC.
What?
I'm talking about the team that I like. Similar to the Big Ten. I like the 4 seed. I like Georgia Tech in this tournament.
Similar to the Big Ten.
I love the 4 seed here. Moses Wright, the ACC
you have
player
any
of the
ranked
year.
teams right now? Josh Pastner is wreaking havoc on your league.
Look at this guy.
This guy is dominating your
the
league.
good
And
guy
you
of the
said
year.
similar to the Big Ten.
Good guy of the year. Similar to the Big Ten.
We'll have
love
more
the-
teams in the Final Four than you'll have in the Sweet 16.
Hey. How many teams are getting the Big Ten? 9? That's what they're trying to push. The ACC's getting 7.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at you, but
At the end of the
same
day,
time-
the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are the hottest team in the ACC.
Yep.
They have the ACC Player of the Year. They should have had the ACC Coach of the Year. At least the ACC Character of the Year is what I'm saying.
Did they name a Coach of the Year yet?
Yes.
Who was it?
It was Mr. November, Mike Young, Virginia Tech. Leonard Hamilton was number 2. Josh Pastner number 3.
For what? Like what?
Moses
That's
Wright,
such a-
though, was the real story. Moses Wright, a guy that went from, freshman year, basically irrelevant, sophomore year, balled back in a little bit. This guy had no offers from Enloe, from Raleigh, North Carolina. Probably should have gone to NC State, but it was legitimately a diamond in the rough, a guy that, like I said, no D1 offers, was kind of, Josh Pastner didn't even want to give him a scholarship, and then, 3-4 years later, he is the ACC Player of the Year. So shout out to Moses Wright. Shout out to Georgia Tech. I think they're a fun team to look out for. Florida State's probably the team that everyone will pick as the 2 seed. I think Duke has a legit shot to – like I said, Joe Lunardi has Duke still in the
Duke's
bubble.
bad, dude.
Duke's the 10 seed here. They play Boston College in the first game. Boston College, Jim Christian is the actual good guy of the year. So that's a win for Duke. They get in the second round. They play Louisville, a team that has beaten them twice, Mark Titus. So, most signs would say.
That's the Rutherford. I'm picking Duke just because, I'm picturing.
And the 80% of the time, right, the team that's already won twice is going to win the third game and yada, yada, yada. But I'll tell you this. It's the Duke Blue Devils. It's Louisville. This is the situation where they look around and say, we're going to win this game.
I'm just picturing Mike Rutherford.
He's
watching
upset.
this game.
He's upset hearing me say this right now. But I'm saying it.
I'm just is Mike Rutherford going to be happy on Wednesday? And is he going to be happy to the answer is no. I just feel like
No.
if he's playing Duke, yeah.
No. Okay, so Duke beats Louisville, and then Duke has Florida State there. This is Thursday, March 11th. This is going to be the moment in time, folks. You're going to be sitting at home, and you're going to see a tweet that says, is Duke back on the bubble? And you're thinking to yourself, wow, Duke's they're in the quarterfinal or the semifinals at this point? Unbelievable. What are they doing here? Don't believe the hype. They've only beaten 2 teams that they probably should have beat a team that's already beaten them twice, right? Anyways, Florida State, this is the game. If Duke wins this game, beats Florida State, then we're on. Then we're on.
All we need.
Then we're on and popping. America's back in on the Duke Blue Devils. On the flip side,
And then all they need is 2 more wins.
yeah, and then they have to keep going. Anyways, Virginia Tech is another team as a 3 seed that I think has gotten a little bit forgotten as we talk about the ACC. They're a good team. Again, Mike Young, Coach of the Year. And then to the top of the bracket, the 1 seed, Virginia. Syracuse, NC State is the 8-9 game. Hughes is trying to get into the tournament. Buddy Boeheim, Jim Boeheim.
Yeah.
That is a upset game to watch. I could see Virginia, potentially losing that game. I think Virginia's just happy they won the ACC regular season. I don't think
backdoor win.
a backdoor. Exactly. Like
Florida State losing
probably
at Notre Dame.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have won the ACC, but we're happy
By
we
the
did.
way, shout out to Mike Bray for beating Florida State right after everyone's calling for him to be fired.
Yeah,
By
fire
everyone,
Mike
I mean
Bray.
like 12,
Stop.
19-year-olds
Stop.
that go to Notre Dame.
Stop. Notre Dame is an interesting team because Notre Dame is hot, and they play Wake Forest in the first round. They'll probably get that win. Then they play North Carolina, the 6th seed. Tough draw for North Carolina there in the first round, but what can you do? What can you do? You know what they do. But anyways, looking at the ACC, it does feel like to me that it's Florida State's tournament. They are the kings of the ACC tournament now. Georgia Tech is a team to watch. Virginia Tech, like I said. But overall, Mark Titus, like you said, not the most interesting tournament.
There's really, honest to God, I'm not even saying this.
Coach K loves
ACC.
Greensboro. Coach K loves Greensboro, so there's a slight chance that Duke makes a run.
I'm not saying this because you love
Slight
the
chance.
ACC and I'm trying to troll you. Like, I legitimately am looking at this bracket. I'm just like, there's nothing.
You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. It's Greensboro basketball. It's real pure hoops, Mark Titus.
There's nothing that does it for me.
Roll the
there's absolutely
TVs
nothing.
in. Roll the TVs in.
There's nothing that does it for me. Good luck, I guess.
Georgia Tech.
So who wants to win this the most? Would you say
Georgia
like
Tech.
of the teams that are actually already in the tournament?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Yes. Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think it's Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's the team that's like Josh Pastner's like, if we win this, I don't even care if we lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Do you know this, Mark Titus? Josh Pastner has the number 16 recruiting class in the country coming in next year.
Number 16?
In
Is
the
that
country.
good?
In the country. Georgia Tech.
Is that good?
Yes. In the
16,
whole
I mean, I don't know.
In the whole country?
16. I mean,
Penny Hardaway's got like the number 21 class.
Dude, like, I mean, I think once you're outside the top 10,
No,
that is Big Ten stat of the day if I've ever heard one.
Top 16. Top 16.
If I told you Matt Painter, if I told you Greg Gard had a graphic made that said we have the number 16 recruiting class in the country, you would fall out of your chair laughing. Like, who brags about the 16th best recruiting class?
Josh Pastner. Josh Pastner. I'm all in on Georgia Tech basketball being back. If you don't know John Sally, Mark Price, I mean, just go do your research. Ishmael Muhammad, B.J. Elder, Jared Jack, man, the good days.
Jenny Anderson.
Oh my God, Chibs, come on.
All right,
what a time.
That leaves the Big 12. So the Big
Dennis Scott.
God damn it! Can we please move on?
All right, let's go. Big 12.
Big 12. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Baylor versus. Okay, so West Virginia, Oklahoma State's going to be the 4-5 game. That's on Thursday.
Great game.
I want Oklahoma State to. I'm sorry, West Virginia fans. I think West Virginia is good enough to make a Final Four. I think really
Same.
it's insane to look at the Big 12 bracket, and Oklahoma's a 7 seed.
Yes,
and they're playing tomorrow, and that's Oklahoma. What was it? 3 weeks ago, they were ranked like 7th, or they were 7th in the country, and now they were
tier 2, I believe. Andy was like this close to bumping them up.
So anyway, all of these teams, basically all the top teams, you could talk me into all the top teams in the Big 12 making the Final Four. So no disrespect to West Virginia, but I want Oklahoma State to win because what I really want more than anything is Baylor, Oklahoma State. I want Jared Butler to just go nuts because on Monday, Tate, Cade Cunningham was named the Big 12 Player of the Year, not Jared Butler, not the guy who not the guy who's one of the best defenders in the conference and the country, for God's sakes, not the guy who's the leading scorer on the team that is almost undefeated. Is Tate Frazier undefeated? We'll say. Are they undefeated?
Yes, undefeated.
Coming off a COVID break, the one time they lost. I mean,
doesn't count.
Still undefeated, right?
Yep.
Jared Butler loses out to the freshman who, granted, Cade Cunningham's awesome, and he it's not that he doesn't deserve it. It's just like, if I'm Jared Butler, I'm pretty pissed off about this, and I wouldn't mind seeing him take it out. And also Cade rising to the challenge. I'm like, hey, man, I heard you're pissed off that I won Big 12 Player of the Year. Watch this.
Yes.
Here's why I won.
Yes, here's why. Yeah.
Here's why I won. That matchup has my attention.
There is something to be said about the fact that Cade Cunningham has these, we joked about him being Heisman moments. We'll call them Naismith moments or whatever the award is in the Big 12 for Player of the Year. But traditionally in college basketball, there has always been this sort of pecking order where the seniority rules, as stupid as it is, that's how it plays. So you and I assume that Jared Butler, de facto, seniority rules, by tradition, he would be the Big 12 Player of the Year. So the fact that we had the Big 12 champion. Scott Drew gets the hurdle, jumps over it, celebrates, going crazy, first time since 1950. We assume the next, the next thing that the next chain, the next link is bang, Jared Butler, Player of the Year. And the worst part about this for Jared Butler is that this almost nullifies him for National Player of the Year a little bit because he can't be in that conversation if he's not Big 12 Player of the Year.
That's why I was
so now
fired
Cade
up.
Cunningham has now jumped him in that conversation. So
that's why I was fired up about it, because before Baylor goes on their latest COVID pause, I would have argued, like when everyone was arguing, when Io really blew up, and there was the Io versus Luka debate about Player of the Year, National Player of the Year. I was ready to throw Jared Butler in the mix. I'm like, are we going to talk about Jared Butler? The guy's the team's undefeated. He's not carrying them, obviously. Baylor is deep, and they're good, and they have other shooters and great players. But, like, Jared Butler's the guy.
Yes.
He's very much the guy. It's not a Gonzaga situation where Kispert and Suggs and Timmy, and they're like a great team.
Yes.
Baylor is a great team, yes, but Jared Butler is the guy on that team.
We know who's going to get the ball.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. It feels like he could be National Player of the Year, but then he's not even Big 12 Player of the Year. That's wild. But, has it flipped, I guess, is the question. Has because like back in the day, as you said, like freshmen didn't win these awards, but the Big 12, I'm trying to think. Like I pulled it up to make sure I was onto this. Was
Durant won? Player
Durant
of the Year.
won.
Yes.
Beasley won. Yeah, Beasley did win.
Yes.
Beasley won Player of the Year.
But
the year
those
after.
two guys,
so they were early. Big 12 were early adopters to like freshmen, but also Durant was National Player of the Year.
I mean,
So
exactly. I was going to say Beasley and Durant. Beasley,
Marcus
for some
Smart
reason,
won.
people have forgotten how big of a deal it was that Beasley was coming into college basketball, and the fact that like Beasley had his coach go be the assistant coach at Kansas State. He was must-see TV from the jump, so makes sense that he had the zeitgeist. He gets the vote.
Dude, Devontae Graham won over Trae Young. I forgot about that. That's so stupid.
But that's what we're talking. That is the example of what it usually is. Like this is Devontae Graham. This is the pick. But I think he's probably more of the pick. I mean, Devontae was amazing, by the way, that year. So
he was, but Trae Young is the most underrated. He might be the most underrated college basketball player.
Trae Young was putting up 30 and 10.
He led the country in scoring and assists.
Yes,
and did not even win conference player of the year.
Crazy, because the backlash, he was so good that the backlash was so harsh.
ESPN ruined it.
Yeah.
Because they kept showing the Trae Young stat counter.
Yeah.
He's
the assist counter.
He's 0 for 1 with 1 assist, and we're like, yeah, dude, we're 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
Like, calm down. Yeah. And then the backlash happened. Yeah.
He popped too soon.
Man, all right, other things to look at, I guess. Can I just shout out Iowa State? I think Iowa State is the best. I'm going to, in fact, I don't think this. I am sure of this. Iowa State is the greatest 2-win team in the history of college basketball. The greatest 2-win team. Like, they've been close a lot of times.
Yes.
I don't want them to beat Oklahoma because that's devastating to Oklahoma's season, and that's devastating. I don't know how you come back from that if you're Oklahoma, but shout out to Iowa State. They're still fighting. They gave Baylor a great game. First game back from Baylor's COVID pause.
Yep.
It's shocking that they went 0 for 18.
That's what America started to feel like. Are we sure Baylor's that good? But again, you're saying it. Like, they're a really solid 2-win team, you know?
Iowa State is the best 2-win team of all time. Of all time.
Yeah, the boat.
Of all time.
The boat. The best of all time.
The Big 12 is going to be out. I don't know what else. Like, the Big 12, it's just more of the same of what we've seen all year, that West Virginia, Oklahoma State's going to be awesome.
Texas Tech is the game for me. That's the first round matchup, the last game on on March 11th. So those two teams I've liked a lot this season at different points. Chris Beard went to the title game the last time we had a tournament, so we have to respect him. Shaka Smart grew out the hair. I bought in from the Maui bump. We've had the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. I want to see where Texas is right now and really judge Texas based on where they are right now at this very moment. They have the talent. We know they can put it together, but that game for me will be a nice, which one of these Big 12 teams do I really want to ride? West Virginia, Texas, Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Are all three teams, and Oklahoma. Those 4 teams are all dangerous teams in March. And then, obviously, we have the Kansas and Baylor at the top, the Big 12. Kansas, I'm still a little bit, finicky on. I could see why people like them. There's some games where you see it.
Here's the thing about Kansas. If their jersey said Iowa State, I think if they said TCU, you'd be like, I like this team.
Yeah.
I liked it.
They're a little bit more scrappy.
It's just that Kansas isn't as good as we're used to seeing Kansas. So you're like, Kansas sucks.
Yeah.
And also, all the other blue bloods sucking, or some degree of it, is not
Kansas could win
either.
games playing defense, too. That's the other thing. I can see Kansas defensively getting to the Sweet 16. And then not having the horses from
Kansas was the best team in the country last year, and they're not this year. And I think if you're watching Kansas, you're just like, what happened to where's Azubuike? Where's Dotson? What's going on? I don't like this team. But
oh man, I wish Dotson was on this team.
Dude, conference tournaments starting today. The ACC. I mean, they've already started. No disrespect to the mid majors and the small that have already punched their tickets.
Yes.
I'm at the power conferences.
Shout out App State. Shout out West Miller, UNCG. All the guys.
Yeah, they start to the ACC, Pitt, Miami. We get that today on the ACC Network. Which so I guess they don't start today. Good luck finding all the second round of tomorrow's ACC games are all on ACC Network too.
Yeah.
Good Lord, dude.
Tune in.
Get it together.
Tune in.
Get it together.
Roll in the TVs.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. Let's do a quick round of good guy, bad guy, just for posterity. A lot of people listen to the show. They want on Tuesdays. They want to know who's our picks for good guy, bad guy of the week. I think this is the last time we're doing it this year. Right?
Yes.
This will be it.
This is the final one.
The final one. The take-home
picks.
Yes. Go ahead. Who's your good guy of the week?
Good guy of the week for me is historic. And it's honestly something I never thought I would be able to do on the show because he was such a – this would be like if Darth Vader, just decided, you know what, my bad. I want to go back to the good side. I'm done with this whole thing. I got a little this is my fault, and it's Coach K, my good guy of the week. Yeah, you heard it here, and you say to yourself, based on the principles of this, he cannot be a good guy. But there's duality, there's layers, and Coach K, after the game against North Carolina, after getting swept by your North Carolina Tar Heels, after having not a first-round pick in the NBA draft. After looking and saying, I'm not even on the bubble, he looked around after this game and said, I like North Carolina's freshmen. They got a lot of talent over there. They got a whole lot of talent. I wish that we could bring in that kind of talent to Duke. Even though, it's, 5 to 10 5-stars on his bench.
He's had top 16 recruiting classes for how many years?
For how many years, folks? So many top 16 classes. Good guy of the week, Coach K. He gives Roy Williams all the props. He gives Carolina all the props.
Yeah.
I have never seen Coach K willingly lose and be a loser. And I think that just shows that something has happened. Once you have my parents always said this. Once you have grandchildren, your heart grows 3 sizes, right?
Okay.
Coach K had his grandkids. Roy Williams did as well, about 10 years ago or so, and they did get a little bit nicer. But you didn't really see the full form. Coach K has gray in his hair now, and I see it. I see. Yes, look at it. Look at it. It's peppered in. The tar is gone. The good guy is here.
He dyes that too. He dyes it all jet black, and then he adds the gray after he dyes it.
I hate to say it, but Coach K, I kind of like him. He was a good guy.
If Duke, I want that cut, by the way.
Yeah.
I need that audio of Tate saying. I hate
Make
to
sure
say
you
it,
say
Coach
this
K's a
too.
good guy.
Swept by Roy Williams, 2021. Good guy of the year.
If Duke, so in your scenario, Duke beats Boston College today.
Yes.
They beat Louisville tomorrow.
Yes.
Then they're playing Florida State on Thursday.
That is the game.
They lose to Florida State, but they lose by 4. It's a close game. Matthew Hurt
Lenardi
balls
has
out.
him in, yes.
Is Coach K, do you think he is campaigning to be in after the game, or do you think he's just defeated and he's like, it's whatever, it's over. I'm ready for next year. Just
If they lose in a close game, then he says, this conference is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. And he lobbies, of course. He has to lobby.
Yeah.
And I think if they at least get to this game.
This is a great hypothetical. Which coach who's the best team in the country that if they lose in their conference tournament, their coach won't lobby? Mm-hmm. Indiana?
I mean, yeah. It's like, do you want to lobby or you want to go do some hobbies? You know what I mean? It's one or the other. And there's a lot of coaches that are like, I just want to get out of here and enjoy myself. Coach K, I think he actually will lobby.
Who's the answer to that? That's a great question. It might be Indiana. Like, if Indiana loses, Archie Miller is not lobbying. He's just like, all right, I'm going to pack up my things.
Yes.
I'm ready to go now.
Yes. Because like Xavier's lobbying, Providence.
Xavier's definitely lobbying.
They're lobbying.
Seton Hall's lobbying. St. John's.
Yeah.
On down. St. John's maybe not. If St. John's losing to Seton Hall, I don't think Mike Anderson has to see the writing on the wall. I think he has to be like, yeah, we blew it. Or if Seton Hall loses to Kevin, if Seton Hall loses,
Willard is the one.
If you lose 5 in a row and you lose back to back to St. John's,
Lillard is the one that.
If Willard loses to St. John's,
Boeheim, if he loses to Virginia, he lobbies. Boeheim's
He's definitely lobbying. Yeah.
Keats doesn't lobby.
No, of course not. That's insanity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pathetic.
But
you're clearly out and you're lobbying. It's like, get it together, dude.
Yeah.
This is
Louisville, they lobby. Chris Mack lobbies.
Yeah.
Roy Williams lobbies. Even though he doesn't have to.
He's already in, yeah.
But if they lost to Notre Dame, he has to lobby. You know what I mean?
He does have to lobby if they lose to Notre Dame.
For sure.
My good guy pick of the week. We already kind of touched on some of the stuff I wanted to touch on, but just for posterity, Juwan Howard. Because Juwan Howard this past week, the past 7 days, has done like 17 Big Ten programs a solid. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna count them out. He did obviously Illinois a solid because he gave Illinois a win in Ann Arbor, locked up a 1 seed for the Illini. Also, now Illinois fans are pissed off about like, we should be Big Ten champion. That's good because they're probably gonna hang a banner anyway. I would love to see that actually.
Please.
Illinois just hangs the banner. So Illinois fans are happy at what transpired from Juwan Howard. Michigan State fans are obviously happy. Michigan State beats Michigan in East Lansing.
Mr. March.
Mr. March is back.
Yes.
People are saying Rocket Watts and Aaron Henry might actually be a good backcourt for one day, for one moment in time.
Foster Lawyer sitting over there stewing, waiting for his moment.
Yeah,
put me in, coach.
Yeah, he's actually out for the year.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But you wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I did not know that. I literally did not know that. I'm sorry, Foster. Get better soon.
But also at the same time, he did. Speaking of which, he did Nebraska solid because Jack Hoiberg got minutes in this game, 7 minutes. Michigan State is so depleted at point guard that Izzo's throwing Jack Hoiberg out there. Almost got a $7 trillion, by the way. But Jack Hoiberg gets to call his dad and say, Dad, I almost got a $7 trillion, and we beat Michigan, and I moved the ball really well, and it was awesome. So Juwan Howard did that. I guess that's it. But he also, Eli Brooks gets hurt in this game. Remember, Eli Brooks did not play at Minnesota when
Yes, that was
Michigan
the
lost to
cop-out.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then in the post-game press conference, Mom was like, yeah, we missed Eli. And I was like, you missed Eli by 17 points? Like, that was really going to make a difference? And now he's like, see, I told you, without Eli,
Yep.
we're not as good.
70 points.
So now Eli Brooks is like, I love this guy. I love play. So it just a lot of, like, the 2 losses that Michigan has suffered recently, a lot of good vibe. Like, he's spreading there's a lot of goodness going out there. He got another bid for the Big Ten. Michigan State's going to be in now. So Juwan Howard, my good guy. I think Michigan, by the way, for the record, they're fine. They're going to be good.
Yes.
They're going to be very good. They're still a very good team.
Yes.
And they had nothing to play for in this game. I still believe in Michigan long term.
Yeah, there's basically 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D for me in the Big Ten, and they are 1B right now, and they've been 1A, for the past few weeks. I'm going for Illinois. I just believe in them for some reason, but I like that. Good
your
guy.
Bad guy pick.
Bad guy is simple for me. Bracketology. Last year we did not have a tournament, and you would think, a lot of people said to us, college basketball is dead. College basketball is dead. Who cares? Who cares? Joe Lunardi, he just hung on for life and just waited until the brackets came back. He just sat down, hunkered down.
Well, it's easy when you're in a bunker to survive the apocalypse.
This man, he created a term. He trademarked the term. He became a quote-unquote expert. And, the bracketologist himself is able to survive. He's able to keep putting out the brackets. And he's also able to take money for Duke because he continues to put him in his first 4 out, first 4 in. They're still in the bubble. So I just want to shout out, whatever you're getting, Joe Lunardi, you are the bad guy of the week. You do you. Whatever Mike White, whatever his rate is, keep doing it. Bad guy of the week.
Is like
how, Mark? How are they on the bubble? I don't understand it.
Whatever has
there it is. Bad guy of the week.
Convinced Lunardi is like the best at this. Also, in my history,
how
we have all the former the brackets as they play out, and Lunardi. I don't think he's bad. But, I mean, isn't that the thing? Is like we have all the data that's like Lunardi's actually like kind of middle of the road. And he's not the best at this, but we love him anyway.
We just love it. Yeah.
We love him anyway.
Again, bad guy of the week.
My bad guy of the week, Roy Williams. It could be no other. Number one.
I wanted you to have this. This makes me
Number one,
the
Jordans he wore against Duke. He's been wearing a new pair of Jordans every week, or every game. Right?
I need that pullover right there.
But the Jordans that Roy wore against Duke, I'm not even a sneaker guy, and which ones were those?
I can't even remember which ones he wore against Duke, honestly.
They were the high tops with the.
Pull up the picture. Do you have the picture?
The Jordans. Damn it! This is Jordan.
Are they Jordan 1s, Jordan 11s?
I don't know what the numbers are. I used to have. What were the ones I had the 23 written on the side by the heel?
23 written on the side.
Oh, God damn. Michael Jordan. What do I even search? Jordan Roy Williams.
At the end of the day, there was a mantra in my life I've always had, Mark Titus, because look at me, you can be dorky, but the way that you can do this is to be loud down low, and Roy Williams has learned this year. You got to be loud down low, make a statement with your shoes. That is the way to do it, folks. If you're a quirky looking white kid or dorky looking white kid,
I can't
go
find
loud
it.
down low. So
I can't find it because Google doesn't believe in the same things I believe in. I just searched Roy shoes and
I'm going to say that they're Jordan 3s.
I did not.
I'm
going to
say they're Jordan 3s because I feel like that's.
Dude, you got to look these up. They were great.
I'm not even every single week. There's a different shoe. I mean, he's had the Jordan 1s, the Carolina Blues. I mean, he's done it all. He's had Jordan 11s. He's had Jordan 3s.
This is all gibberish.
Okay.
What you're saying?
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of those are, but these were awesome.
Yes,
these were my favorite. That's what I want to go on record.
Okay.
But also, he started a scholarship for North Carolina. He gave $3 million to North Carolina to start scholarships.
Yes.
And the whole reason I bring it up is because I don't care. Whatever, you gave money to your school, whatever. I donate money to Purdue. You don't see me talking about it, but
as he talks about it.
I never mention it, but I've tried to donate a bidet to my alma mater.
This is Larry David when it's donated by anonymous.
I'm anonymous. I've been trying to
Can't tell people I'm anonymous.
I never talk about the bidet I'm trying to buy for Ohio State either. But the reason I wanted to shout it out is that Roy is starting a 13th man scholarship for the North Carolina basketball program, which is he's giving to the walk-on. I guess is every year the last scholarship's going to go to walk-on. Is that the idea?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
He's also funding basically, a lot of Olympic sports at the school. This is Roy Williams' move to say, there was a point in time where everyone looked at North Carolina and said, Dean Smith is de facto the AD of this school. This is Dean Smith's school. This is where Coach Williams is. 900 wins. Fastest coach of 900 wins. He is our guy. He is the patron saint of North Carolina. And this is a very bad guy move for him to take care of the other athletes. But it's also a move that says to me, this is my home. This is my place. This is what I do. And I'm going to be here forever.
My name is on this basketball court.
Yeah, that is true. Roy Williams Court.
Yep. All right, shout-outs, closeouts. Wrap it up.
Man, let's do it. Let's shout out to Luka Garza, the National Player of the Year. They're going to retire his number 55 at Iowa. So I just want to say that. Luka Garza, we didn't even talk about Luka Garza as we talked about the Big Ten tournament. That just goes to show how under the radar, consistently good he's been.
I'll say it this way.
I'll shout him out now.
He's inevitable. I think you do take him for granted he is.
But it's not because we disrespect him. It's because we know he's so good. I'm just saying, for the Iowa fans, they're sitting and listening at home. Just know that, look, number 55 will always remember. Number 55 is one of the best bigs we've seen this decade, for sure. And, definitely this century, too.
I love that he wears 55.
Yeah.
Can I secretly say
throwback for the bigs.
I don't love that Jason Williams wore 55.
You're talking about white chocolate?
Yeah, I don't love that he did that because
What about Duncan Robinson?
That's a great point.
That's the 55,
point.
And
I didn't even talk to Duncan about
this. Well, the funny
part
about it is, right? At least I assumed it was like a practice jersey situation where it's like
that's
you just wear number 55.
I love I'm old school Indiana guy that I love the big guys wearing 55 because that's on the high school team you order the jerseys and the 55 are the biggers
50
and 10 whoever's number 10 is your point guard because it's the
double
smallest.
0 and 50 were for the big guy and then you figure out the rest from there. You know what I mean? And you almost learned your position that way. You're like, I'm number 21. I guess I'm a power forward.
Oh my god! My high school we only had even numbers, and it drove so many guys insane. I 34 has been my number my whole life, so I wasn't a problem. But we only had that's insane.
Yeah,
you only have even numbers.
I'm number 11. It was easy.
I wonder if they still do. We're sponsored by Jordan now, Brownsburg High School. So I wonder if they got.
I had number 7 in middle school. In middle school, we got to pick our numbers. Any number you wanted. You could be number 98. It was amazing.
You just write it on a marker?
Private school. You literally could pick your number.
You have your name stitched on the back.
It was insane. It was just one guy was 71. He knew. He knew about Luka. I did not.
Who do I want to shout out? Oh,
do it.
I want to shout out Belmont. They got smoked in the OVC title game to Morehead State. So not so much that.
I don't know why I always look up when you say a name, I just look up at the screen and see if a Belmont player is going to show up.
They got smoked, so not so much that. But I said on the show Tate a couple weeks ago, I said that my dad called me while we were recording a show. I had to decline the call, and I called him back on the way home, and I was like, Dad, I was recording a show. Like, what the hell? And he said, I just wanted to call. But I was trying to get you before you started recording because I'm watching Belmont. I love this team. You need to talk about them more.
Yes.
Why do you and Tate never talk about them?
Yes.
Belmont heard about this, and they sent my dad a quarter zip with the Belmont Bruin and Under Armour thing. My dad was the happiest guy on earth. He takes a picture. He's like, it was a surprise. They reached out to me. I gave him the address, and they sent it to him. And my dad is just like he was beaming. And the point of telling you the story is that it's because it is kind of funny ending. Is that
I love it, Coach.
My dad when was this? Saturday, Friday? It would have been Saturday. Indiana is playing Purdue. My mom went to Purdue, obviously. So it's the house
Laura
divided
Legend.
game. The house divided game. Indiana has not beat Purdue in 4 years. Literally, it's literally been 4 years. And my dad wants to beat Purdue more than anything. So he's watching this game as a Hoosier. His wife is cheering for Purdue. She's rubbing his face as Purdue beats Indiana yet again.
This game was
And
ugly.
my dad says, you know what? Belmont plays tonight to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. That's my real team. Throws on the quarter zip and then watches Belmont get their ass kicked. And my dad texted me. He's like, not a great day for me. He's like, not a great day.
Oh, we still love Belmont, but man, Coach Titus.
It was so funny. He's like, and also Ohio State, he cheers for Ohio State because of my connection there. So he's like, it's like Ohio State chokes it down the stretch against Illinois. He's like, I give up. I don't know what to do.
Brad Stevens, come home. For Coach Titus, just come home, please.
Who else did I want to shout out? Shout out. You're talking about Lenardi earlier. I hate to talk about our competition, so I'm going to shit all over them. ESPN, you absolute morons, you buffoons, you idiots. The notice of allegations was released in Arizona. We can't even spend time talking about it because it's like this is the height of March Madness, you idiots.
Yeah. They did it.
Why would you go? Why would ESPN sue Arizona and have all this come out now?
Yes.
Wait a month, you morons.
Yes. And also shout out to Dickie V for calling out Sean Miller. Dickie V is fired up. He can't
shout out
believe
to Sean
this.
Miller's son for calling out Mark Slaybaugh.
Dude, shout out to the idea that people are shocked by the transcript reveal, right? That there were fake transcripts coming out. It's like, guys,
Yeah.
there are schools that I won't say that literally, if you're a college football player, you just go to these classes your 3 to 4 years, and they're just like,
we heard about this day.
yeah, I know. No, I went to them. I was in them. No, but I'm just saying, we all know this. B minus. Triple AD 252. My area code is 252. And, I thought I was going to go in this class. Jeremy Boyd was in that class, playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And I thought I was going to get a great grade, but, I
will remember that for as long as I live. Like Tate defending, like these classes, guys, these classes were actually kind of hard. I got a B minus.
I will say, I do think the professor was looking at me and was like, this guy's definitely not getting a good grade. So
anyway, I wanted to. This is a call out. This is not a shout out or a close out. This is a call out of ESPN that you absolute morons. All you had to do is wait a month.
Yeah. And
then we would have content for we would do a full show on.
Maybe we come back.
Maybe, but like it's like
not in the best interest of the state. Though,
it's not. As it turns out, Arizona's right. It's not in the best interest of the state of this program of our program. Like so, whatever. Shout out Sister Jean. Loyola's back in the tournament.
Yeah.
That's happening. Is there anything else?
Shout out to Justin Champagny, first Pitt player to make first team All ACC. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the ACC haters for not letting Kerwin Walton make the all freshman team in the ACC. I don't like that, but I like that he's going to come back. And shout out to Houston, buzzer beater season. So
was that Memphis?
Yeah, against Memphis.
Memphis hit the shot to tie it, and then Houston. Shout out to Mike Conley and All-Star.
Here we go. Yeah,
here's the shot. Yeah.
I mean,
dude, sliding doors moment. That was Swaggy Poole. Swaggy Poole did it to them. Maybe now.
Now we're on the other side. I think Houston's back.
Houston
is what I would say.
Back. I don't think so.
Bad guy of the
week.
I'm
very much out on Houston. Mike Conley was an all-star. Almost won the three-point contest. Did not win the three-point contest. Steph Curry did. Mike Conley is used to being like second, and everyone being like, "Damn, you're so good," but we're going to take that trophy.
Yeah, and no one forget. Also, just say this. If Conley's in a competition, take the Conley. You know what I mean? Like, his dad.
Pool, you're playing ping pong. You're playing Madden.
Always take the Conley.
Basketball, what have you. I think that's it. I don't have anything else. Thanks to everybody who watched it. If you've watched this whole thing.
Thank you for being live with us. We like being live.
Well, I think so. It makes it feel more pressure. I'm at
it
the
also,
line.
For me, it feels like I can say anything because I'm like, whatever, I'm live. You know what I mean? So
I have the exact opposite approach. It's like, be careful what you say.
Well, more about me talking about Purdue basketball. I love Purdue. Final Four team.
Mine's like, well, I'm the exact opposite because I'm like, did I really just say that? Because usually I would get done with the show. I'd be like, hey, can you cut that part where I said?
Yeah, not today.
Not today.
Not today. We're sorry.
It's live bullets, baby. It's out there. Good luck to the UConn Huskies, who we are picking to win the Big East
Thanks, Coach Hurley.
But,
really appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who listened and watched. And, that's it. See you guys.